Well, good morning, our beloveds. She gets lost in time these days. How many of you can get distracted in your day-to-day lives where you forget spirit, God, the divine, because you are just so busy doing your tasks, meeting your deadlines, the work stuff? And when you do that, how does it feel within your somatic body, your physical body? Do you feel detached from yourself? Do you feel present and predictable? When you get into your head, being busy, whatever it is, oftentimes, though not always, you dissociate. We use these big words now. When you're not fully inhabiting your body, meaning from your toes to your nose to the tip of your head, when you are saturating one area, you are not fully inhabited. You are not fully present. You are not fully living. For example, when you go on vacation and you take photos and you have these sensory stimulating experiences, you remember that with detail. But how many of you remember that level of detail at your work when you're sitting behind a computer or doing something that requires a lot of logic, thinking, or processing? Or for that matter, a lot of physical activity where it is repetitive. And you are just present with a specific focus on your task at hand. During those times, you are not inhabiting your body. You are task-oriented. And when you do that, while it is appropriate and necessary and a part of life, you are not aware of the cosmos around you. And this is why Spirit recommends quiet time in nature with your eyes closed, allowing your senses to come back online. Your lives have been supported and helped by technology, but the difficulty is that you can achieve much more now. So instead of taking that additional time that you have now saved by being more efficient in tasks, you just get more done. You have increased the conveyor belt, the treadmill track. So instead of going at 2 miles an hour, you may be going at 5 miles an hour because you can get so much more done. But where within this are you being human? Are you exploring what it is to be a conscious being in a physical body? Where is the humanity? Where is your connection and collaboration with other human beings just from a place of friendship without an end goal? Do you just go for walks with your friends? Do you go for talks with your friends? Are you present with them so that you can hear their woes and just support them? Where is the humanity? Or have you all become more like the machines that help you to become more efficient? A washing machine has no emotions. A vacuum cleaner has no emotions. The dishwasher has no emotions. And yet it does a task, and it does it well, hopefully, consistently, predictably. Where are you more robot-like? Or where are you more human-like? We just encourage you to remember you came to work and also to be. You were meant to be a worker bee, to be part of a community where you tend to one another's needs. You see not only your goal, the worker bee, but the purpose of the hive, of the collective, where you are willing to sacrifice your own life in order that others may benefit or thrive. In this instance, it is the queen bee and her larvae that are at risk and are the most precious. So what is it within your lives that is the most precious, that you are willing to sacrifice your own life for? And there is not a right or wrong answer. It is uniquely yours that you get to come to decide that you value. Sophie Scholl came through about 5 years ago and encouraged everyone to say, what are you willing to stand up for and what are you willing to die for? That each of you would be asked this before you transition. So just be mindful. What is so important to you? What cause, what concept, what belief system, what purpose, what person? That you be willing to die so that that could live, survive, thrive, or at least be supported. You're here for a reason, even if it is just to be a bee, a worker bee, in a hive, in a community that loves one another so much that they all come together to keep you alive. Not at their expense necessarily, but because you are a valuable community member. Do you see this being played out right now? What does compassion look like to you? What does love look like to you? And maybe explore. Is love authoritarian and borderliney? Or is love open and supportive and fluid and flexible and inviting? You get to choose the world that you, specifically you, inhabit. But your choices also impact the freedoms and the liberties of others. So just be mindful because, as you all know, for each action, there are natural reactions and natural consequences or karmic feedback loops. Be mindful that whatever you put out there will come back and bitch slap you. Would you rather be bitch slapped with love or with authoritarianism? They're two very different paths, and they each take you to a distinct end. But you may not like what you are on the receiving end of when what you give out comes back. Your voice, your thought, your concepts, your embodiment. Who are you when everything is stripped away? Finding you when you were naked, the naked emperor, what does that look like? Who are you? Are you vulnerable, kind and compassionate, or are you defensive, cold and cruel and vindictive? That's when your true essence shines. When you have nothing to lose but everything to lose. Because you have been exposed as the tyrant who you really are. Because everyone has the capacity to kill. And everyone has the capacity to love. But who are you in those most hateful moments? Who are you when you are challenged and all of your defenses come up? Can you still look at the people around you and create a collaborative approach to solution finding? Or is it that you must be right? Recht über alles. Just give it some thought. And so it is. Namaste.